Hello, welcome to this Fix It Friday video. Now, I'm recording this in a slightly disjointed order because there was quite a fail on this video, but I didn't capture the fail on camera. But rather than just cough up to what I did straight away, I thought I would just let you see what happens and a few of my thought processes and everything like that. And yeah, we can talk about what went wrong at the end of the video. So anyway, here is Kip from the past introducing the video, and oh, he's an idiot. Anyway, roll titles! Hello and welcome to today's video. Now today it is a Fix It Friday video and we're going to go back and look at the Hitachi soundbar that I got. Now the main area of concern was this, and this is the main circuit board here. And from my diagnosis last time, I think this guy up here is the amplifier chip and that is broken. So what I thought I would do is try and work out a little bit more about what is going on. Because you might not remember, this chip has actually got like a name and number on it, but it just doesn't lead to anywhere on Google. You just can't find any reference to this chip. So you can't find the pinouts, therefore you can't order a replacement, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure if I can fix this anyway, but we can do a little bit more investigating, especially now that I've got this lovely microscope, and hopefully that will allow us to see a little bit more of what's going on. So let's go under the microscope. Okay, so here is our chip, BTA636, and yeah, I mean, it looks a bit filthy. I mean, the whole board looks filthy. It was covered in like some goopy stuff. What I'd do is I thought I'd work out the outputs of that chip to actually see if it is the amplifier, because in theory, if the speakers are directly connected to it, then that is the output of the amplifier. I think it is the amplifier chip, but I just want to make sure. So I've got my multimeter here. This is the Kaiweets one that I did a video about. I'll put a link to that up in the corner. It's very cool. So we'll just put it on the continuity test. So hopefully you can hear that on camera. So let's have a look down here. So that is a speaker connector. And I think from doing a little bit of reading, these black guys here, either side of it, are sort of like filtery things. Because if I put the continuity tester, that's interesting, look, that one goes to there, and that one goes to there. But yeah, I think they're sort of maybe like filtering the signal. So if we put one end of the probe on here, and then one end of the probe on the chip, we can just bounce across and see if there's continuity. There we go. Okay, so in theory, the other side. So okay, so pin 6 of the chip, and 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 6 and 9 goes to one speaker. Let's put this on somewhere else, and then let's see. Okay, so that is 14, 13. Okay, so that is 1, 9, 10, 11. The signal is obviously getting to that chip and it's being output on this side and then going directly to the speakers. So perhaps on the other side is where the sound is coming in. Could that be a thing? Okay, well that's good. Okay, right, let me try and explain this. So obviously, an unamplified sound is coming into the chip on this side, assuming it's on this side, and then coming out the other side of the chip amplified. If we play some Bluetooth to this, because if you remember correctly, this was actually sort of working and being seen as a Bluetooth device. If we stream some Bluetooth music to this, then in theory, we can make sure everything is working before the amplifier chip by taking the unamplified signal and amplifying it elsewhere, like in the speakers on my desk, for example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a probe with like some of these pointy guys on them on one end, and the other end can go into a 3.5mm jack, and that can plug into that amplified speaker, and then we can probe and see what happens. I think that's a good idea. Okay, so yeah, let's do that. Okay, right, something bad has happened and it's made me not want to do this anymore. So basically, I'm really proud of myself. I made this really awesome lead. So I had a 3.5mm jack cable knocking around. See, it's got a 3.5mm on the end of it. And I did some soldering and I taped it together, and I taped it to these little probey guys. And I thought I was the cleverest man in the world. I felt just like my mate Vince, or Stez Sticks Fix, or Phil the Coder, and all those other wonderful fixers. And I plugged this end into my speaker and I thought, well, just so I don't look like a complete doik on camera, I'm just gonna have a little probe to see if it works. And turns out it didn't. That's not completely false. It did, but yeah, shall we look at the microscope and we can see what went wrong. So I was probing on the input side of the chip, or so I thought, and there was a small spark, and let's just focus in so you can see the extent of my mistake. That guy there, the Q10, yeah, it started smoking, and it's actually got a little, if you look just here, got like a little bulge on it. And then I thought I should stop, which is a shame really, because it didn't actually stop this from working, and the power was still going to it, but I just don't know what to do with it, because clearly that chip has got a lot of pins going. That chip has got so much going into it. Let's have a look. I think it's a 36-way chip. So there's not just music coming into it. There's voltage and there's other stuff, because a lot of those are actually connected. And I don't know. I mean, it was sort of doing something, because I could hear sort of like a hum on the speakers when I was changing across the different pins on the amp. But I mean, it does, looking at it under the microscope, it does look like pretty minging, doesn't it? There's like this weird, you see that there? Like there's a weird blobby hole. I don't know if this is some sort of flux from the factory. I mean, it doesn't look in the greatest shape anyway. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call time on this, because I've got a few problems. I don't know what this chip is, so I've got no idea. I can't source a replacement. Trying to work out the inputs has basically seemingly destroyed another bit of the board. So I think if I'm going to start my repairing journey, I need to start it on something a little bit simpler and a little bit more, well, documented, I guess, and something that I can get spare parts for. So what you're going to see me fix next is going to be something completely different, and it is going to be an original Game Boy DMG, I think, the proper old school original Game Boy. I've actually got one coming to me. It's got a dodgy screen, and I've already got a few ideas of how you can fix the dodgy screen, and I might even pimp it and add like a better screen to it or something like that. But I thought if I start with something like that, there's just so much stuff online about it. There's so many videos on YouTube and there's so much advice that I can find. But with this, it just seems pointless. So I mean, I'm not going to chuck it away. I mean, I might come back to this at some point in the future, or if any of the fixie YouTube people want to have a play with it, Vince, Phil, Stez, you can have it. You really can. But I just think this is a bit above my pay grade, and I don't know, it just doesn't feel worth it. You know, they're obviously making it hard to repair by the fact that the chips are all unbranded and unknown. I mean, there might be a replacement chip with a better known name, and maybe knowing that those pins are outputs, that might help one of you guys go, oh yes, it's one of those. But I just don't want to lose any more brain space on this, because I don't think it's worth it. I think I'd rather invest my time in something like a Game Boy that I've got a lot of love for, and hopefully we'll have the facilities to fix it, especially with this nice microscope and my soldering iron. So yeah, so whilst this has been a bit of a fail, it's kind of made me decide what I really want. And what I really want is to work on stuff that matters to me and that I can actually fix and have a chance of fixing, because this has just been like a millstone around my neck, because I've even like before, I've just been thinking, I don't think I can do it. But you know, if you think you know what this chip is, then by all means, let me know. I mean, part of me is just tempted to get the hot air rework station and just try with it. I don't know, what do you reckon? Should I do that? But then I don't want to damage it further because I've already broken it more than it was. I made something smoke. I don't know. Anyway, it's enough of me blathering. Yeah, I'm a little bit annoyed with myself that A, I didn't film the sparky, flashy, smoky, smelly stuff. Then this could be a clickbait video. But yeah, these things don't always go to plan. I think I've learned to not do things off camera. So there you go. So hopefully in a following Fix It Friday video, you will actually see me try and start to fix something, and that will be an original Game Boy. So please make sure you subscribe to the channel, and also make sure you give this video a like and drop a comment below. If you've got any words of wisdom, if you've got any help, any advice, then please do get in touch. So yeah, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching, but for now, it's game over.